I don't know, man.
What's wrong? You ready to record, or can we get the show on the road?
I thought I was.
Okay.
I remembered seeing this. I thought I did.
Yeah.
I gave it a pass at the time.
Yeah, you're super hyped. You're super hyped, ready to go. Got your dukes up. Let's do this.
I was all set to defend it, and maybe because I watched it on a smaller screen, it actually was able to hit me, but I don't know, man.
Do you love, I mean, come on, Nathan, you love the book. You love the movie. You're ready to go. You can defend this thing. It's one of the...
I love the book. I don't know, man. I've been feeling pretty low since I watched it, and drinking a fair bit, too.
I mean, is it the wigs that are bothering you?
I mean, there's that. There's no lobstrosities. There's no slow mutants, and I don't know, man. I don't know.
Nathan, are you crying?
Just a little.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to turn this all around for you, bud. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
I'm listening.
Okay. There is a Dark Tower TV series coming out soon.
Oh, man, I can't wait. I bet it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. It's going to fix everything. It's going to be perfect. My hopes are high again.
1 year later.
That's when I'm under pressure now. The question always comes back to me. What were they thinking now? Whoa, what were they thinking? What were they thinking?
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of What Were They Thinking? We sing the intro now.
Oh. When I pick a movie,
That's
when I'm under pressure now.
Guys, we didn't hear the theme, so we don't know what's going on.
I thought it was a duet thing. I was leaving you open there.
I'm really sorry, Nathan. I let you down.
Just like this movie.
Oh, I didn't expect this reaction, so that's interesting. We'll get into it, though. But I am Brendan.
I'm Nathan.
And this is What Were They Thinking? We talk about bad to questionable movies here. We break them down most of the time so you don't have to watch them, or we tell you to watch them anyway.
Yes.
And you should listen to us because we are the lords and masters of the universe.
Wait, that'll be the listener's choice, Mike.
Oh, that's not yet. Sorry.
Right.
But you may be hearing another voice on the line, and that is because we are under attack.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Now we have a guest. We have a guest, a certified Jedi, Amanda the Jedi. Amanda, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the show where we are going to talk about our first Stephen King adaptation.
I'm surprised it took us this long.
Right? There's been a couple that have been questionable.
There's a lot
of
questionable Stephen King movies.
I mean, like Shawshank Redemption, Green Mile. Wait, no.
Those are that's the wrong ones.
I'm reading
Silver
off
Bullet.
Yeah.
Good list. You're reading off the good list.
I'm reading off the back of the list. Hold on. Let me just turn this IMDb top list upside down. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Carrie 2.
Oh, that doesn't count. He didn't write that.
But he probably went in the press and told everyone he loved it or something, because he does that every...
he does, except The Shining.
No,
yeah.
For the remake, he was like, yeah, it's way better than Kubrick.
Oh, that's because he made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. I think now... I mean, we'll get into the Dark Tower in a second, but I think we need to get Stephen King's... Stephen King likes, like we said, almost every adaptation of his novel that's ever been made, he's, like, behind 100%.
Except for Maximum Overdrive.
And The Shining.
Didn't he make Maximum Overdrive?
Yeah, didn't he make that?
He did, and he still thinks it's an idiot movie.
That's impressive, considering what he does like.
Yeah, Stephen King is not perfect, guys. Like, he's made some great stuff. He's also made some really shitty stuff.
Yes.
But here's the thing. The Shining is probably, like, one of the best ones. Maybe not the best adaptation, but the best, like, movie, maybe. One of the best movies.
It's one of them, yeah.
That's the one he hates the most. And I think it's because it's so different from the book.
I think he sees himself in the main character, and then Kubrick was just like, we're just going to make this guy insane the entire way, no redeeming qualities. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, well, that was supposed to be me, so now I feel offended.
And Kubrick is like, suck on that, King.
Yeah, and he would like purposely change really small details, I think, just to mess with him, like the color of certain things. Like Stephen King puts like almost too much detail in certain moments. Oh. So he would just like, this thing that was supposed to be red, I'm going to make yellow, and this thing that's supposed to be yellow, I'm going to make red, just for no reason other than to like clearly mess with you.
Wait, are you telling me that Stanley Kubrick was doing things intentionally to make people angry?
I know, it's crazy. I never got that vibe from him.
Almost like he's combative in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to talk about The Dark Tower 2017. Mm-hmm. So a fairly novel thing for us is that we're talking about a kind of a new movie-ish.
Yeah.
Well, and right off the bat, I want to say that I'm not going to say you did a 180, but I feel like your opinions changed a little bit based on what we heard earlier.
A little bit. Don't get me wrong, I still loved all the little nerdy Easter eggs that were in the movie. But after like watching it again, a couple years later, I'm just like, man, the movie is supposed to introduce anybody to this, I don't know, epic universe. Mm-hmm. And so they were trying to make it as accessible to everybody, but in doing so and making it as short as it was, they left out a lot of things that would kind of draw someone who had never read the books in, and also left out a lot of fun stuff that, nerds like me would have been like, oh yeah. So, I mean, They tried to serve two masters and got nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're alternately explaining too much and not explaining enough.
Right.
It's a weird middle ground in this movie.
And they start out right at the first. The first thing you see is a Tet Corporation production, which is in itself a reference to the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, and the first thing, like you talked about, not really being helpful to the people who may have not read the book, is that it starts with the words, "A tower stands at the center of the universe, protecting us from darkness. It is said the mind of a child can bring it down." That is a startling way to start a movie.
It really is.
For me, having no
Kill
knowledge,
the children.
Yeah. For me, having no knowledge of the source material at all, I was like, all right.
All right.
This is how you're bringing me in.
Yep.
The mind of a child can take down a tower that is protecting us from darkness.
Yeah.
Because the movie opens with basically like a prison camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that whole structure, you never see that until 5 books into the series.
Yeah, so this is like a remake. This is like an adaptation of like the 3rd book or something. Is that what it is?
Isn't this like a blend of like 3 things, but then also simultaneously trying to be like a continuation of the book series?
Yes, that is it. Because
that is wild.
Now, I'm gonna throw out a spoiler to the books.
Oh,
okay. Not the movie, the books. So
I can't read, so it's okay.
The last book came out over a decade ago, so you had your chance. At the end of the last book, we find out that this is all a circle, and Roland is constantly trying to save the tower. And so the book ends off with him starting his journey to the tower to save it, and not remembering any of the events that happened before. But it's not a circle, like where he's doing the same stuff over and over again, things slightly change. And that's what this movie, from my understanding, was supposed to be. It was another trip around the tower where things would be changing slightly.
Well, and that's what happens when a movie is placed in development in 2002 and is made in 2017.
Yes.
And goes through like how many different directors?
Oh, and so many producers.
Actors.
Like J.J. Abrams was on as a producer at one point. Ron Howard was on board.
Yeah.
I heard Javier Bardem was supposed to be Roland at one point.
Yeah. Oh, and then you had
lots of diversity there.
And then you had all this great internet toxicity from people saying like, "Oh, Idris Elba can't play the gunslinger. He's a white man."
Oh boy, howdy, were they wrong?
Yeah. Wasn't there like a specific thing in the book though where like the reason why he almost gets killed by somebody is because he's white? So that like at one point that was actually a plot point.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure.
Yes, actually, yes. Suzanne.
Yeah, Suzanne
keeps calling him gray meat, which is, apparently some sort of pejorative for white person.
Did not know that, but yeah, apparently that's the main reason why some people had a problem with it. But I think he's a saving face of the movie. Like if you're gonna have like a highlight of the movie, it would be Idris Elba.
Yes,
125,000%.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey's wig.
Oh God. Okay, well let's start with the beginning. Yeah, so we got the prison camp full of kids in Midworld, which they just say, "Hey, this is Midworld. Don't worry about it." There's a bunch of things wearing like synthetic skins.
Oh, those are the low men.
Okay, low men. Yep. They're the followers of Loki. And overseeing everything is the Man in Black. By the way, hilariously, I'm sure it's the same in the book, but I found it so funny that his name was Walter.
Yes.
Because that sounds like, all I could think of is Walter Matthau. And how great it would have been if he was still alive to play this role. The
Enjoy
kid from,
your apocalypse.
the kid from Dennis the Menace could have been the gunslinger. It would have been perfect.
Yeah, it would have been.
But Matthew McConaughey is the Man in Black, and the most obvious, like, the way he's introduced, like, his first shot, I wrote down, it's the most, like, this is clearly a shot from another scene introduction ever. Because he, like, steps out of the darkness, and it's very, very quick, and there's no sound or anything, and it's just, like, in the middle of something else. Like, this is the most anticlimactic way to introduce him. But I mean, we got to get to the most important thing that's going on here is that we are putting these kids down in these chairs and shooting their brains at a tower.
Well, I don't want to divert too much because I know that is a plot point from one of the books where in, I think it's book 5, The Wolves of the Calla, I'm already Jasoning this. I know I am.
Kilrathy and Tiger's Claw.
They gather kids up from this town of Calla, and they take them away. Mm-hmm. Like these raiders come in and they kidnap the kids every other generation, take them away. Some come home, some don't. The ones that come home are ruined or ruined, as they put in the book. And we come to find out that what's been going on is that they're using these kids and their mental powers to try to destroy the tower. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But if you're just tuning into the movie, they're shooting brains at a tower.
Essentially,
just their life spirit.
Spirit. The best is that later on when there's like when the world shakes, it's like, oh no, it's a beam quake. I'm like, just say earthquake.
No, because it's not the earth that's quaking; it's the beams that connect to the tower.
Yeah, I just like think it's funny when movies come up with like their own names for things and they're just like they're just like really clumsily used. Like I get that that's the word for it, but it's just I don't know, it's the screenplay.
Akiva Goldsman.
Oh, is that who it was? That makes so much sense.
I know, right? Yeah, that's who it was.
But yeah, so we find out that this whole thing was also, I believe it was also being dreamt of by our hero, Jake.
Yes. It's all
they give Jake the Shining.
Yeah, he has the Shining, guys. It's from The Shining. His father is Jack Nicholson.
Not supposed to have.
He does have it because this book, or these books, are supposed to be the center of the Stephen King expanded universe.
But didn't he not have The Shining? Isn't the reason why he has that ability in the first place because he's like, something happened to him where his consciousness is split between both worlds, and that's why he can see things in both sides?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's not The Shining that he has. He has something different. I can't remember what they call it. But the reason why they use The Shining in the movie is because they were trying to make an extended Stephen King universe. That's why they throw in a bunch of, which Stephen King does in his own books to an extent, to just be like, hey guys, here's a nice little nod in that direction. But they were specifically trying to make it like an expanded Stephen King universe where like The Shining and everything was happening in the same timeline.
Sorry, yeah. I'm just picturing like an editor's note in the middle of a paragraph being like, hey guys, so this is clearly a reference to Dreamcatcher.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember the butt aliens? Well, they're back.
Yeah, instead of actually explaining like this like really intricate plot point with Jake, just give him The Shining.
Yeah,
call
him
it The Shining. Yeah,
just get all The Shining.
He lives it. So Jake wakes up from this in the middle of an earthquake because this dream quickly find out is not really a dream. It's actually happening, and he lives in New York City with his mother and his stepfather Lon, who I thought was Nick Offerman at first. And you know his mom is kind of quirky because she wears her shirt around her shoulders and you can see her bare shoulders.
She's a cool mom.
Yeah, that's like a quirky, cool movie mom.
Yeah. Or like I don't quite care about you as much as I should mom. But...
Yeah. It's been a year since his father passed away trying to save people in a fire, we also learned. So after this earthquake, I think this was hilarious, is that there's a character, like the next door neighbor, Timmy, his neighbor or whatever, comes over just to be like, hey, my mom wanted to make sure you guys are still alive. Okay, cool. That was pretty crazy, right? All right, bye.
Right.
Well, that's not the only time you see him, but...
No, but, like, that's his introduction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and to be as New York as possible.
Oh my god. I don't know why they made him so New York, because no one else in this movie has that crazy New York accent. Like,
I expected him to be like, hey, Jake, you want to go play some stickball?
Yeah.
Stickball?
Hey, you
get a hot dog down at the stand.
There you go, yeah? Head on down to Coney Island.
Got your fucking shine box.
He's got his shining box.
Oh!
Huh? Yeah!
Oh,
count it.
Goodfellas, but they all have the shine. But Jake is going through therapy. He's punching bullies for stealing his sketches, his book of sketches.
That kid deserved it.
Yeah, punches him right in the face.
Yeah.
Which they do that annoying movie thing where a teacher comes over and just blames one of them, and the other one gets off scot-free, but clearly it was the other kid that started it.
Oh yeah, because that never happens in real life.
No.
Well, most of the time they grab both of them and they're like, principal's office. Is this where the homeless dude shows? Yeah, the homeless dude shows up.
Oh, yeah. I actually have a note here. It's a tidy Jason Mantzoukas.
I wrote down that this was the movie's like Crazy Ralph character, like from Friday the 13th.
Don't let them take you.
Yeah, it's got a death curse.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of learned like what he's all about later, but at first I didn't remember who he was, and I was just like, wait a second, what? Why does this movie have like a Warner of Doom or whatever?
Yeah.
Harbinger.
Thank you. I was looking for the word. Back to Midworld, we get another dream, but actually real, and we meet the gunslinger Roland, played by Idris Elba.
Yep.
The Idris Elba. The first time on our podcast, probably not the last. He's a great actor. He's made some questionable choices. But he does have he is with his, is it his father?
That's his father, yeah.
Okay. Played by Dennis Haysbert.
Which, to me, told me that the tower should have actually been in good hands.
Right?
With Allstate.
The president was protecting it.
I just know him from the Allstate commercials.
Oh. I thought like Kiefer Sutherland was going to show up and help them. But Dennis Haysbert, my God, a blink and you'll miss it appearance. Like, he's in this movie for, what, a minute and a half?
Something like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so they got their guns at the ready because the man in black shows up. Again, his name is Walter.
Yes.
Played by Matthew McConaughey. And yes, let's talk about his wig.
In a fantastic wig.
Yeah. My goodness. I don't know how I didn't notice it on a
I didn't either.
50-foot screen. but when I watched it this time, I was like, wow, that is not his hair.
I'm just noticing that that's not his hair.
Really?
I'm looking at pictures now. Oh my God.
Right? Like, look at where his hairline is.
What is this?
What is this?
Why did they do that?
I don't know. Why did he I don't understand why they didn't just have him get his hair like that.
Really didn't. I guess he just really didn't want to dye his hair. I wonder if that's one of his clauses or something.
Not dye my hair, and I'm not taking a shower.
All right.
If you're to believe the accounts from Saturday Night Live, he apparently doesn't like to shower.
Oh.
He likes the smell of his own must.
He seems like the type of person who would.
Musk?
Yeah,
Musk? Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, he seems like the type that would be into that about himself.
Yeah.
If I can't smell myself, how can the ladies?
Oh,
yeah.
Hey, is there a scene where I can play the bongos at 3 a.m? Because I think that would add a lot to the scene.
I would like to yell that I'm a midget too, if that's okay.
But yeah, so Matthew McConaughey, I'm just going to call him Matthew McConaughey because he's not really, it's not like he disappears into the character.
No.
True.
At all.
But he has these abilities to just look at someone and say stop breathing or hate or kill each other. And my first question is, why doesn't, if he's able to do that, just go to Earth and make a ruckus?
Well, it's not that. His magic. Now again,
his magics.
Yes.
That's what he says.
I'm guessing that they have limitations. He would have to be in proximity to folk, and his magics are not so powerful that he can take down the tower and let those dark demons in to our universe.
True. I just think it's his powers are kind of ill-defined too, though.
Very.
And I feel like when he's walking around doing that, I'm like, I want to see more. I also just want to see more of that. I would like it if the movie was more of him just fucking with people. When he walks by that little girl and says hate, and she looks at her mother, I was like, why?
I want the repercussions.
Yeah, I was like, why did you cut away?
There's got to be some sort of extended version where she's at least having a fit at her mom.
Yeah. Well, this is one of those really weird movies where tonally it really felt like it was being aimed at kids, but then trying to be really serious at the same time for the very adult fan base of the books.
Yeah.
So it's just it just couldn't do it, I guess.
It does jump around a lot, and I mean the PG-13 rating probably doesn't help in that regard.
Oh, actually, that's one of the sticking points for old Steve King. He was pretty upset that it was a PG-13, that it wasn't as violent as it should have been.
But again, he only turned on it slightly when people didn't receive it well.
Right.
Because I remember before it came out, it was the day before, there was an interview with Stephen King, and he was like, "This may be the best adaptation of one of my novels ever."
Ooh, no.
Yeah, which is so weird. Because we have Shawshank Redemption and Green Mile.
They exist.
Yeah, and they're almost verbatim adaptations of those books.
They're really amazing.
You thought 1922 was the best one? Mm-mm. I don't even know why I'm ragging on 1922. It's probably fine.
1922?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh.
Oh, that, yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
I've seen that one.
Thomas Jane, check it out. So
there's just so many.
Yeah, there really is. I don't know if there's that many. I think there's more books that are adapted than there are not adapted.
Well, yeah, he's got a thing called his Dollar Babies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
somebody from around here, somebody in this province was able to make a dollar baby.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, let's talk about this. So, basically, if all you have to do is register or whatever, you fill out a form to adapt anything of his you want to adapt, and you just have to pay him $1.
Yes.
Yeah. Specifically from the short story selections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if you have to be an independent filmmaker as well. Yeah.
Yes.
They're not.
Yeah, it's some kind of.
They're not going to be like, "Hey, Amblin Entertainment, here to just give me $1. Just give me $1."
Lionsgate. I could see people like taking advantage of that though, like getting some like random kid just to buy it, and then suddenly just like, I don't know, like Lionsgate just swooping in and being like, "We'll produce it." Like A24 swoops in, you know.
Oh, I'd love to see A24 do a Stephen King.
I know,
Especially
right?
some of those earlier short stories.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of Steven Spielberg being like, "Ha, ha, ha, got my deal.
Got my deal.
I'm gonna remake Shawshank for $1."
Fuck you, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. I'm casting Idris Elba. Yeah, so Matthew McConaughey is constantly saying people can resist my magics, which made me laugh that he pluralizes magic. I don't know why,
It's like
but
British people pluralizing maths.
But again, that's a callback to the books. That's how he talks in the books.
Yeah,
it sounds
sense.
funny out loud.
Yes. A lot of stuff from those books sound funny said out loud.
So we're still in this scene. The Man in Black tells Gunslinger's father to stop breathing. He dies, but somehow the gunslinger, we learn, is able to resist his magics.
Yes.
But Man in Black, Matthew McConaughey, is also able to easily deflect his bullets, Idris Elba's bullets. So Jake wakes up and he sees in his dream, or he saw in his dream, an abandoned house. So he draws it and posts it on the internet, and he's like, "Anyone know where this is?" Which I thought was kind of
Y'all got Google Maps?
Yeah, he's like, "This is in New York. Okay, go."
It's also a plot point from the second book. The house demon is supposed to be
House
like the house that Pennywise lives in It.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of a wild plot point, though, for him to be like, just post a drawing on the internet to find out where it is.
Yeah, in the books he actually finds it. Like, he doesn't
Yeah,
draw it and put it on the internet because the book was written like in the 80s. So
Well, that
Yeah.
actually makes a lot more sense.
But he still ends up just stumbling across it in the movie too. So they didn't even need to show him posting it on the internet because he still just falls ass backwards into it when he's running away from someone.
No, there's a guy who, when he's getting ready to run away, he says he sees someone responded to his post that says, "Dutch Hill, that's in my old hood. What up, yo?"
Oh, I missed that somehow.
Sorry, I was too busy reading the comment that said "up your butt."
Yes, that was
Yeah,
there too.
up your butt. Yeah.
It was nice that they were able to
Got
capture internet culture so well in the movie.
A very PG version, because if this was the real one, it'd be like,
Well,
there'd be a
That's
bunch
what I
of
was looking for. Internet culture is always what I'm looking for when I'm watching fantasy films.
Yeah, there wasn't enough LOLs in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted more Rafflecopters.
Yeah. I know we're not talking about it, but it reminds me of like in the last stupid ass Twilight movie when they're trying to research the vampire baby and he's just like on Google looking it up. And it's like, we're like 100-year-old, 1,000-year-old vampires. We have books from like the Dark Ages and shit, and he's Googling to do about a vampire baby.
Okay, fine. Those movies have one flaw. I get it.
I know.
You found it out, Amanda.
I know. I'm really good at this.
I'll give you a medal. Is that the one that has the telenovela ending?
Yes, it is the one that has a telenovela ending.
Perfect.
Please bring me back on to talk about just all of Twilight.
Okay.
Okay.
You're gonna do that over on for Screen and Country, right?
Ah! What? Yeah, that's on the British Film Institute top 100 list of all time.
All the Twilight movies.
Yeah.
know
British films, yeah.
I'm here for it.
It's a remake of, I don't know,
Hey,
Mona Lisa.
There were British people in those movies, so,
Yeah, it's
loosely
true.
reaching.
Robert Pattinson is British.
That's the only qualifier. So, anyway, what the fuck's going on here?
Well,
Okay,
this is when the folks from the Institute show up.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of them looks like just a chubby Good Charlotte cover band frontman.
I thought one of them was Bobby Moynihan without facial hair.
Well, that's the guy.
Yeah.
But he's got like this Good Charlotte goth hairdo going on.
Yeah, and Jake notices that he has he has a skin line where his face is supposed to peel off.
That's right.
Which, if they're impersonating people, they should really work on that part.
Yeah, there's makeup guys.
Get a blend. Yeah. Cover up.
Use some cover up on that. But he quickly it's like, Mom, come help me pack. And he's like, those are the skin people from my dreams. At that point, I'm the mom. I'm like, yeah, you're going with them.
Yeah, this is why I feel bad, because I'm like, I believe you and I know you're telling the truth, but you sound insane to the point that would be the thing that would push it over the end.
Yeah. Yeah. You just said skin people from my dream.
Dreams.
Like,
it's not his face!
And then old Ron Swanson walks in. He's like, you gotta go with them. You gotta go with them. Get out of here, kid. I hate you, and I want to bang your mom. I don't want to think about you being in the house. Basically what he says. And wait, his name is even Lon. It's even close to Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically Jake is like, shut up, Lon. And then decides to make a break for it.
Yeah,
and the mother barely. I mean, she kind of reacts a little bit, but like the
guy jumps out the window and starts scaling the side of the building, going after the kid. They're like, "Don't worry, he'll get him."
Who knew Bobby Moynihan was into parkour?
He'll bring him. Yeah. He watched Tracers. He But they're watching. The mom like sees this guy scaling a roof, climbing, chasing after her son, and she's just kind of like, "Well, that's a bit odd." But she doesn't like have a horrendous reaction to it.
Just like mildly confused.
Yeah. But the kid manages to outwit these two. They're pretty dumb, honestly.
Yeah.
Because he goes down a subway tunnel and comes up the other one?
The other. Yes. Yeah, because there's two entrance. Like there's an entrance on both sides, so he basically just runs down the stairs, does a circle around it, and then runs back up the other set of stairs.
Yeah. And that's when he finds the Dutch Hill building.
Yeah.
Which has a house demon, which he has a mighty battle with.
Super mighty.
And that he says, let go of me, and that it lets go of him.
Because he used that shin, and he was able to defeat
you just don't want to get sued.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's kind of a pretty bad CGI scene, I'm not gonna lie. Where this like house basically starts strangling him with like the wood in the house. I don't know. And he says, let me go! Boom, explodes, lets him go. He finds a portal. He throws his shoe in to make sure it's safe.
I thought that was a bad choice.
That was a bad choice because number one, you probably lost a shoe, and number two, you can't see where your shoe is, so how do you know that worked? Yep. You're not doing a human trial, so...
And there's another, the Easter egg here where he puts in 1919 to use the portal. Yeah. That number is huge in the books, and they never explain it in this movie.
No, and then there's also reference to, like, I think later on you see, like, 1408, which is another Stephen King book.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is you see Pennywise's circus later, which is, like, all fine little references, but again, like you said, Nathan, they don't really add up because nothing's ever really coming together.
Well, you should say that. The whole 1408 thing, even... outside of that story or that movie, it also ties in to it being kind of like a bad omen or a bad place as well, because it adds up to 13, which Stephen King is apparently super superstitious about.
So he goes into the portal and he ends up in, I guess, Midworld.
And just drinks from some strange flask.
Yep. As you do. Yep. Well, he also later...
When you're desperate.
He also later tries to eat from a branch that he just picks something off and just put it in his mouth. He's not
a kid.
He's not the smartest kid with the shine.
No.
I think what you mean, Brendan, is he's not the brightest kid with the shine. Huh? Count
it. So he finds Roland, who immediately, or I guess I'm using like all his names. It's Idris Elba, gunslinger, Roland. It's all the same person, guys. Yeah. Roland sees this kid and immediately points his gun at him. He's like, "Who the hell are you?" And I was like, imagine if like he hadn't have even asked and he just shot him right there, and then the rest of the movie just went on.
Yeah, logical.
Well, you know what? It absolutely would have taken care of Walter's plan.
Yeah.
Right?
All done.
That should have been what happened. That should have been the twist. The only thing I could do to stop Walter is to shoot you in the head. Sorry, kid.
Them's the breaks.
Them's the brakes. This movie needed a "them's the brakes" line.
Really did.
So we get some dialogue between these two. He tells them like, he sees that the kid's got pictures of or drawings of like the Man in Black. And he's like, oh, you must work for the Man in Black. He holds him over a cliff, and he's just like, no, I know your name is Roland. He's like, oh, you know my name is Roland. You must be a good person. And so he spares his life.
Look, I have a picture of you.
Yeah, a picture of you. Can we be buds?
I drew it.
Yes, the art show convinces Roland to take him to the psychic tribe. These words are coming out of my mouth.
The psychic tribe. Well, I think, what do they call them? Seers?
Seers,
yeah. See, which when he first said that, I was like, wait, why are they going to Sears?
They're still in business in Midworld, actually. Fun fact.
Doing really well.
Guys, what store can we reference that'll probably still be around in a couple years? Oh, Sears is doing pretty good. Yeah. Are you sure we can't throw in a couple of like Eatons in there or something?
Oh God.
But yeah, they go there. He's like, yeah, we're gonna go see the psychic tribe or Seers or whatever. They'll be able to interpret your dreams and tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
So they go through the super scary woods,
where we see Pennywise's circus.
And I think this is where we kind of cut back to Matthew McConaughey too.
Yes, and we find out he's just doing this because he wants to be a rotten son of a bitch.
Yeah, he wants to take down that tower. Oh, and he goes to see
Rorschach?
Jackie Earle Haley, Rorschach. Where we learned that someone's nickname is Two Skins, and I was like, wouldn't they all be nicknamed Two Skins?
Yeah. I guess. I often wondered if he had a brother named Four.
Oh, that would be a creature I would not want to see created on screen.
No, thank you.
He's shedding!
He's just made up
God.
of old tips of moleskins.
Oh, God. Nathan, write up your Dark Tower sequel right now. Everything in this movie has to be canon, though. Go.
They fought the Briss monster.
Briss monster. Oh, come back here! But yeah, so he finds out from Rorschach, kid Jackie Earle Haley,
Freddy Krueger,
the pedophile from Little Children, that this kid that came through this portal has the shine, and it's a pure shine. His shine is pure. And so Matthew McConaughey's like, the perfect brain to shoot at the tower.
Yes.
So this is when he goes to Earth, and I think he confronts the two people that were supposed to capture him earlier, and says, kill each other.
Yeah.
Which, again, they left.
Yeah, he just tells everybody, be like, enjoy the show.
Yeah, which we don't
calm
get
down
to see.
And enjoy the show.
I was already mad when we didn't get to see the kid hate on her parent, and now we don't get to see the two characters kill each other.
Yeah.
Tragedy.
It would have been great if he passed by that kid later and she was just sitting on like a pile of bones.
Or handing out, alt-right literature.
Just berating her mother over like every choice she's ever made in her life.
Don't you see? They know what's best for your body. They're Republicans. Alienating.
So, yeah, now we go back again to the Scary Woods, where we get not only the Pennywise reference, but there's also Charlie the Choo Choo, which is referenced in book 3 of the Dark Tower series.
Oh, okay.
Yep, because they're at like the amusement park.
I thought that was like a Thomas the Tank Engine reference.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Stephen King's just stealing things from other people now. It's fine.
The Little Engine That Could by Stephen King.
Little engine that could murder everyone.
Everybody.
So yeah, they're in the woods, the Richard Scary Woods, and they see a creature. Well, actually, no. Jake thinks he sees his father.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's like approaches him because of course his father's in the middle of the woods. That only makes sense.
Well, he's in a different world. Maybe his dad's still alive here.
Thank you.
They did say that, but I was still like, come on.
I don't know. I feel like that was one of the most accurately adapted moments.
You know what? Okay. You know how you mentioned earlier about how they just said Jake has the shining because they didn't want to explain the whole him seeing two realities thing?
Yeah.
In the books, cue my Jason moment.
Okay.
In the books, in the very first Dark Tower book, Jake dies.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But then we find out there are other worlds than these, which they reference in this movie, but don't really feel the need to expand upon. Mm-hmm. And we find out that there is another Jake. And when the first Jake died, the second one took on his consciousness. So he was seeing the two things, and the only way that they could reconcile his seeing these two realities was to have him drawn through the house demon portal, thus merging his consciousness.
Yeah. So that's why he can see both sides.
Yeah, exactly. But let's just say he has the shining and call it a day.
Because it really helps with their expanded Stephen King universe.
Yep.
That, like, most people probably wouldn't even get. Like, even if you've seen The Shining, even if you've read The Shining, them referring to it as The Shine, a lot of people who are familiar with everything probably still wouldn't have made that mental connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, like, and a lot of people probably would be like, oh, I bet this is related to that Stanley Kubrick movie from 27 years ago, or 37 years ago. Like,
yeah, I'm sure a lot of people don't even realize that Dark Tower, when they were watching it, was a Stephen King novel.
Yeah, oh, totally,
So.
because, I mean, yes, I know it's, like, one of his most different books in terms of, like, what it is, obviously,
Yeah.
but as a movie, it never feels like a Stephen King movie. Like, I feel like almost every other Stephen King movie, whether good or bad, feels like it was written by Stephen King.
Because
fair, yeah.
outside of Shawshank Redemption and The Green Mile, everything that's kind of been adapted by him has at least been some sort of thriller or horror.
Yeah.
Well,
Even Green Mile has, like, the magic kind of aspect to it.
Yeah.
And just that brutal tragedy type feeling to the end of it of, like, this is the burden you have to live with for the rest of your life for the choice you made. Like, even if it's not scary, it's still very dark like Stephen King is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess even Shawshank, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I was
no.
going to say, even Shawshank, like, when I watch it, I can still kind of feel Stephen King's writing. But this just doesn't feel, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like, except for, obviously, the references to other Stephen King novels, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Crimson King stuff, but they don't even explain that, so.
No,
Yeah.
it's literally written on the wall, and then they
Yeah,
move
I
on.
actually, like, if I like, somebody told me they thought that the Crimson King was the Man in Black. They thought it was, like, just another name for him.
Yeah.
Because they don't ever explain it, and they portray it as if the Man in Black is the big bad of everything.
Yeah.
So, like, why wouldn't you assume?
Which, when we get to, like, the end of this movie, I've got stuff to say about that. Because his exit from this movie left me... Anyway, we'll get into it. So where are we here?
With a beamquake, the Jake thinks he sees his dad, and
Yeah, so it's a monster.
We get a whole Stranger Things thing going on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a monster that tries to attack him, and it manages to stab Idris Elba through the shoulder. Mm-hmm. However, the kid grabs the gun, the monster chases him, Idris kills the monster, oobla-dee, oobla-da, life goes on. And then the credits roll. Oh, wait, no.
Nope. We go back to Midworld. Oh, no, not Midworld. We go back to Earth Prime, or whatever the hell they called planet Earth. I have a note here that says Lon had it coming.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so they don't go back, just the movie pans back.
Yes.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, back to, like,
in Black.
Keystone Earth?
Yeah,
There it
Keystone
is.
Earth.
That's
That's
it,
it, Keystone Earth.
Which is our Earth, which they
yeah,
just want you to know.
it's the most important Earth. That's why it's called Keystone.
Even though that's not where the tower is located.
Yeah, it's never explained, though, like that. They just say it, and they're like, okay, Keystone Earth,
Yep.
got it? Okay, good. So, yeah, Matthew McConaughey goes back to Earth. This is where he visits, like, Jake's parents, the stepdad and his mom. Kills the stepdad, and gets very, like, touchy-feely with the mom. Like, leading her into the room, like, show me what happened. And we don't see what happened, but of course we'll learn later that he basically set her on fire.
Yes. unfortunately.
Or either that, or he was Thanos. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's really one or the other.
She of all the people who get it in this movie, I feel that she's the one who kind of didn't deserve it.
She was just a cool, quirky mom.
Yeah.
That, like, honestly, if you put a regular person in that situation, you would also think that your kid is crazy.
Yes.
Right.
So, like, she might have made a bad choice with Lon, but beyond that, like, she just seems like she's trying to do her best.
It's like you said, when you hear, those are the skin people from my dreams, red flag.
Yeah, exactly.
So we go back to, so basically, yeah, he does this, and at this point, Matthew McConaughey finds out that this kid is definitely got the shine.
Yeah.
And he's in the other world, or whatever. We go back to the other world, go back to Midworld, and we're finally arriving at the Psychic Village, which sounds like I don't know. Psychic Village sounds like a fucking call-in number or something.
Miss Cleo's there. You know?
Miss Cleo. Oh, R.I.P.
Right. John Edwards.
John Kerry's running mate.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not that one.
So yeah, Psychic Village. For some reason, when the seer is interpreting Jake's dreams, I don't know why I thought of that scene from Demolition Man where Sylvester Stallone and Sandra Bullock are like having mind sex.
Oh.
It just reminded me of that for some reason, and I was equally as disturbed.
Oh god.
So that happens. This is a scene where we do have a lot of exposition, but it doesn't really make a lot of things any clearer. It's just kind of like, yeah, we got to go find this portal, and that goes right into the Man in Black's lair, because basically Roland just wants to kill him to get revenge. And, obviously Man in Black is after the kid, so he can use his brain to blow up a tower. Your garden variety villain.
Yep.
But the Psychic Village is attacked by a bunch of creatures that I guess Man in Black can control.
Those are the low men without their skin masks on.
Face. Yeah.
Okay, I thought they were like the things in the woods.
Nope.
Nope, they're not. Those are demon things.
Demon things.
Yeah, because they say that after a beam quake, the barrier between our universe and the darkness is extra thin, and they can sometimes pass in.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what they did.
So there's a big action sequence here. Jake at one point gets kidnapped, but I would argue this is the only scene in the movie. Well, for me anyway. I know it's different for everyone else, but for me, this is the only scene where I actually thought was kind of badass.
Yeah.
Is the scene where it all goes silent, and Idris Elba shoots the dude from like a mile away.
Yes.
Yeah, he does the gunslinger thing. But they gave it away in the trailer, so it wasn't impressive in the movie.
Right.
It's like, I've seen this like 20 times now.
Yeah, it was in every trailer, which was on every single movie.
Yeah, exactly. And I watch movies a lot, so I saw it a lot.
I felt bad because, like, that, like you said, it's one of the few times in the movie where they display his abilities, and they never really kind of expound upon the training that he did to get those abilities, because that's a big section of the first book.
Oh, yeah. You mean he didn't just read the mantra and immediately know how to shoot a gun?
All he had to do was forget the face of his father, and that's it.
Yeah.
Fucking go.
I thought that was his entire training.
Shoot with the hat.
Shoot. Wait, did you just turn New York?
I did, yeah, just for the sake of this.
Shoot with the hat.
Shoot for the hat, mate.
Timmy shows up and says, like, you gotta shoot with your hat, not your gun.
Yeah, don't forget the face of your father.
Yeah.
And also say hi to your mother for me.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, she's ashes. Never mind.
She's ashes. Yeah. And Jake also learns to be a gunslinger pretty prominently in the books, and they just totally avoid that. It's like, we're just going to take those guns away from you.
Well, they train Jake and then two other characters who aren't even in the movie, Eddie and Suzanne.
Yeah.
And also we find out that the guns, like Roland's guns, are made from Excalibur.
Yeah.
Which they never explain that Arthur, the Arthurian legends, are interwoven with Midworld's existence.
Also,
Yeah.
I just want to say on a personal note, I am fucking done with movies with King Arthur references. Because recently, like, it was like the new Hellboy had it.
Yeah.
Aquaman had it.
King who would be Kid who would be King
Kid
obviously
would be
had
King.
it.
So many movies recently, and I'm like, enough of King Arthur.
That's how you know he's real. Leave him alone.
So done.
Jesus.
It's like Jesus.
He is Jesus.
Again,
King Arthur is Jesus. All right.
but yeah, they start off with the whole Arthur the Eld thing, like 2 books into the series. So if they were hoping that this was going to be like an epic or series of movies, you have to put that in that first movie.
Yeah.
But they are just like cherry picking things.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Like crazy.
It's so weird that they're like, we're cherry picking knowing that we want and have plans to continue this series. So I'm like, so then why are you cherry picking?
Yeah, like why if you had all intentions of doing a franchise, why not start with the first book?
Yeah, just go with that.
Yeah.
It like honestly, it just feels like a kids movie. It feels
Actually,
like a young adult kids movie that got lost.
The reason why I feel that they didn't just adapt the first novel is because it would just feel like a Western. Because that first book is very much
Western.
like a Western with some mysticism thrown in.
Yeah. But they almost went the complete opposite way. It now doesn't even remotely feel like a Western. And
Yeah.
there's a very strong Western like undertone the entire time. It's like a fantasy Western basically. Mm-hmm. And it's just gone entirely.
There was a fantastic action sequence in that first book where Brolin just lays waste to a town of people who are attacking him, and I was dying to see that on the big screen and was so let down that it wasn't in the movie.
But
Not
I see
at
why
all.
they wouldn't do it, because they need you to like that character, and it's hard to like a character that lays waste to an entire city.
True.
Let's rephrase for a second. It's hard to like a character that lays waste to an entire city in a film with a pretty bad screenplay.
Yes.
If you're Akiva Goldsman, it's hard to.
Oh my God, Akiva.
But yeah, so Idris takes that dude out from a long ways away, and he and the kid go through a portal to go to Keystone Earth because they got to go to Earth to find the portal to get to the Man in Black's lair. So they show up in the
And go
middle
to a
of,
hospital.
Right, they go to a hospital where Idris Elba is fascinated by the talking animals on TV.
He says, the animals still talk here? Yeah.
It's another
Nathan
reference.
is like hurting right now.
Well, in the book, again, Jason, I'm channeling Jason today here. They have what's called a billy bumbler. It's like a raccoon. And they can be taught to speak simple phrases, not unlike a parrot. So the animals do talk in Roland's existence, or they did.
Yeah, they did.
I thought you were going to say his name is Rocket.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Right, yeah. That's the best crossover ever.
That would have been amazing.
Dark Tower's actually the MCU.
Oh, shit!
Oh, shit.
Wait, does that mean that Idris Elba is also the protector of Asgard?
Yes. That makes sense, though.
Holy shit, that
Different
actually kind of
Roland.
worked.
It does. Just
Kinda
different
works.
Roland.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So they're in Earth. Yeah, they go to the hospital. Idris Elba is confused, befuddled by talking animals on TV. Again, if you read the books, like Nathan says, it makes sense. If you don't, you're like, well, is he just dumb? Like, I don't know what's going on.
Well, he specifically says, do your animals still talk?
Yeah, and he's like,
So
no,
you're
that's
like, oh, okay.
And I do kind of like the fish out of water stuff a little bit. Mm-hmm. How he like just takes the they're like, you have hepatitis A, B, and E.
And severe radiation poisoning.
Yeah, and he's just like, here's some coins for your troubles, and walks away. And then later, even like when these two like I guess they're supposed to be prostitutes, when they're like, hey, you looking for a party? And he's like, you have forgotten the face of your father.
Highlight.
It's a great part in the book because they do that, and but we come to find out in the books that there's actually an action sequence that happens, and he scars one of the police officers who's responsible to the whole thing, because they talk about the unflinching coldness in Roland's eyes when he was shooting and doing his gunslinger stuff. And they say that years later that that police officer had a complete total psychotic break when he saw the movie The Terminator, and it reminded him of that situation.
Jesus.
That's a wild plot development.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he gets out of the hospital. Roland and Jake are like on the bus. They're trying to find out where the portal is, and they meet up with that homeless guy from earlier, who we find out was a
Tidy Jason Mantzoukas.
We find out, yeah, this is a prequel to John Wick 3. We find out that the homeless dude was a kid who had the shine and was taken and then just kind of thrown back on Earth, all messed up.
He was
all the
ruined.
brain juice he lost.
Yeah.
And he tells them, and he basically ends up telling them where the portal is, or he shows them, like, you know, he reads his mind or whatever.
The Dixie Pig.
Dixie Pig, yeah. So at this point, yes, we get the training sequence of Roland training Jake how to shoot, which is so dumb.
After Jake has found out that his mother was killed, they have a little rooftop sadness powwow. And now that we've established that the kid is grieving and unstable, let's give him some guns.
Give him some guns.
I just wrote down about that scene, Ashes to Ashes.
Oh, God. It was like sludge.
It did look kind of weird.
Yeah, it was very
so much so
sludgy.
that at first I was like, what is that even supposed to be?
It looked like sludge, just like that she had not even been burned.
He melted
just like
her?
melted. Yeah, like melted.
She faked her own death. She just poured sludge all over the kitchen.
Well, that way she doesn't get blamed for Lon's death.
That's right. She's on the run. That's the second movie. It's just it's like a The Fugitive like movie about her on the run. So we're like he trains him. Like, I know you said it's a big part of, or you guys said it's a big part of the books.
It's
but in
an
the movie,
overarching story throughout several of the books.
Yeah.
Is him training them.
so it's not a 4-minute scene.
No.
Oh, okay. Because in the movie, the way Jake learns how to use a gun is he just recites the gunslinger's creed.
Well, that is, I mean, that's the first bit of training.
Yeah, but that's all he does.
It's all he does in this movie, but that's the first bit of training that Jake does receive in the books.
And he is immediately like a crack shot.
No.
No. Well, no, in the movie he is.
Yeah.
He says the thing, and then he's just like, boom, shot the can. I am now a gunslinger.
Yeah.
So, at this point, Roland is like, well, I gotta go get more guns.
Yes.
So we go to the gun store.
Kind of has a gun-gasm when he gets there.
Yeah, because he's like, because earlier he was like, does your Earth have guns and bullets? And he's like, you're gonna like it here.
Yeah, you're gonna like Earth.
Yeah. But then it turns out that, dun 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 dun, Matthew McConaughey is in the gun store.
And this whole thing, actually, at this point, I kind of noted that they're really blending Walter and Randall Flagg, who is another character from the Stephen King universe.
I read something where they were supposed to be the same character.
No.
Well, that's just what I read something about, like, that was not necessarily that was what it was, but I just read something that said, like, there was always, like, a lot of suggestions that they were the same person.
And in fact, Flagg does show up later in the books.
And Matthew McConaughey even said in an interview that he was playing Randall Flagg.
He did say that. I remember that.
Yep.
Okay.
So that should tell you right there the level of, like, commitment to the book. Is that Matthew McConaughey was saying that he was playing a different character.
Yeah, it just
than the one he
seems
played.
like they read like the cliff notes for all the books and then made a movie out of it.
And then accidentally put the stand in there for some reason.
Yeah.
So this is a trap. Walter catches him while he's distracting Roland because he's not actually there, but his like image is there, and he's also got the gun store guy like under his control, like shooting at Roland. So Roland just shoots the guy in the shoulder to take him down, not kill him. And then, meanwhile, Jake is being kidnapped by the skin people. So they take him to Midworld, and Walter is all like giving him his little ectoplasm reader or whatever that is supposed to be. Shine reader, shinometer.
Yeah, he's measuring his metachlorians.
I know about this.
Wait a second. You are a Jedi, so.
Yeah, exactly.
So how are your metachlorians then?
Through the roof,
Oh.
honestly.
Wow.
Honestly. If they had found me first, Star Wars would have been about me.
Episode 4, Amanda.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
That would have been the most like intriguing episode title ever.
I know,
Like,
right?
wait, what? That doesn't sound like a Star Wars name at all.
Also, wasn't that A New Hope? What's going
Yeah,
on?
exactly, of course. It'll all make sense, guys. Just wait. It's just another trip around.
Yeah.
But Jake is brought back to Midworld, and Man in Black is like, all right, we're going to hook him up. We're going to shoot his brain at the tower. This is going perfect. But before they go, Jake manages to get one quick shine out to Idris Elba. He's like, hey, the portal is at this place. Come find me.
Yeah, he sends him the coordinates.
Yeah. So Idris Elba shows up, and he's just laying waste to everyone. Bang, bang, bang.
He's like Hawkeye, but with, stuff that could do real damage.
Oh, wait.
Hey.
But, hey, Hawkeye in that scene in Endgame was pretty awesome.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm not knocking Hawkeye. I actually,
Alright.
I do like Hawkeye. It's funny that a guy who has true aim chose bow and arrow.
Hawkeye is my spirit animal.
It's because he can change the end tips at will. Can't do
Right.
that with bullets.
Fair.
True. I mean, to be fair, he was also a shield
fair.
operative and not a superhero.
To be fair.
from the get-go. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is, sorry, I talk about that because, again, like Amanda said, this is part of the MCU, so.
Yeah.
I actually have a note. Even I think this fight is kind of bonkers.
Oh, this final fight here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane! But entertaining, but insane!
Yes.
So he's shooting all this glass, and McConaughey, like, stops the glass and, like, fires it back at him, so he shoots the glass more instead of just getting out of the way. I don't understand. And also, like, if McConaughey can, like, manipulate things, couldn't he just, like, crush the dude's ribcage at the end?
Yeah, maybe he's able to resist that magics too, Brendan. Fuck, I don't know.
They didn't explain it, so we don't know what the boundaries are of the powers.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know. We don't know what the limitations or the strengths are.
And also in the book,
Was this based on a book?
it's
Was it?
Oh, okay.
yeah, right. When Roland does finally catch up with Walter,
Walter Matthau.
at the end of the first book, he's got psychic abilities and able to cast spells and things like that. But the whole telepathy thing, not a thing in the book.
So, Roland does some crazy bonkers shooting that makes it so that finally he's able to shoot. It's like ricochets a bullet off another bullet or something.
Yes, because every time he was trying to shoot Matthew McConaughey, Walter, the Man in Black, Randall Flagg,
Apparently,
Yeah.
he would just stick his hand out and stop the bullet. So he, being Roland, Idris Elba, Roland Deschain
gunslinger.
of Arthur the Eld, he shoots a bullet. McConaughey stops it. He shoots another bullet and deflects it off of that bullet and into his heart. Boom. Bank shot.
and then he shoots him a few more times and shoots him in the head. Okay, here's what I was going to talk about when I said about about his exit from the movie. He is basically like the devil incarnate. And how does he die in this movie? A bullet to the head.
Ultimately, he is... Walter, anyways, was just a magician.
Yeah, they
wizard.
amp him up in this movie like way more than he should be.
I was gonna say, yeah, because as far as this movie is concerned, he's the devil.
Yeah, that's true. They actually describe him as that.
Yeah, they describe him as some sort of like otherworldly thing, and that's why I was just like, wait, what? That's how they killed him? It's kind of anticlimactic.
It actually is literally like what everybody in Harry Potter's like. Why didn't somebody just pull up a fucking AK and lay out Voldemort? Like, this is, here you go. This is now you know what happened. Now you know what would have happened.
Oh my god, Matthew McConaughey should have played Voldemort. Hey, Harry.
Where's the wand, Harry?
You better put that down. You got any spells, Harry? It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Oh my god, even the line like, I get older, but they stay the same age works! Rolls up on Hogwarts.
Oh, like, I'm kind of done with J.K. Rowling, but if they want to remake that with Matthew McConaughey, I'm in.
Let's go.
Oh, man.
Anything after that fucking Fantastic Beasts sequel. Good
Oh,
Lord.
that was so bad.
Oh.
And I love Harry Potter.
And like, yeah, if you want to talk about a movie where you're just like, what?
Yeah. No,
The
the whole
whole
fucking
time.
thing. The whole time.
Yeah, every plot development, huh?
Huh? This isn't necessary. Oh, it's because they're just trying to fit a bunch in because the next one's the last one. I'm like, nah, suckers. They got 5 of these bitches planned. There's no reason for any of this.
The complexities of that movie make this one look like Hop on Pop.
It's very true. Oh my god. I've never been more let down, potentially.
But anyway, so the Man in Black is Dead City, USA.
Mm-hmm.
The Jake and Idris Elba go back. I like just interchangeably using different names, but they go back to Keystone Earth at this point, or I guess Idris Elba's already there, but Jake goes to him. And you know, they're eating hot dogs, drinking Coke, which we never, by the way, see that it's Coke, but it's clearly Coca-Cola. Like, Idris covers
I think
the
that
label
time
with
they
his hand.
show it, actually.
Oh, did
it's
they?
the first time they don't, and the second time I'm pretty sure I see the label. Because I'm like, oh, it was Coke last time, too.
Yeah, because he was holding it.
You get another little bit of fish out of water thing too, because he asks Jake what it is, and he's like, "It's hot dogs," and he calls them savages.
Yeah. And the thing with the Coke thing is, like, when Idris held it the first time, I was like, why is he holding that so unnaturally? And then I was like, oh, he's trying to hide the label, I think.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that was like they were like, we're not sure if we got the Coke deal yet, so
Maybe, because I swear the second time, yeah, I'm actually looking at a screenshot, and the tab is facing away from him. So like, there's no reason why he should be holding the can this way.
Brendan, after rewatching this movie, I'm quite sure they got that Coke deal to go
Yeah.
through.
Positive. They weren't sure at first, and then they saw the movie, and they were like, "You guys can reshoot that ending scene. You guys can use the logo."
Oh no, I'm just talking about the amount of Coke that went into making this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I found
Well,
another
I
clip.
mean-
The Coke logo is visible. They got
Oh.
it, guys.
Okay, there you go. in the later scene though.
Yeah, the later
Not on the
scene.
bus.
No, not on the bus. On the bus, he's holding it very unnaturally so that the tab is facing like sideways.
Yeah.
So-
I swear.
And I think it might just be because of the exchange that they have, because when he drinks it, he asks Jake what it is, and he just says sugar.
Yeah.
That's why I think that they didn't have the rights at that point when they filmed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, wait, which scene should we refilm? We don't have enough money to do any
The
more
one where they
reshoots.
actually acknowledge it, or
Yeah.
no.
We've already done 10 weeks of reshoots, guys. We gotta move on.
Gotta move
the
on.
Coke can is not important.
No.
So anyway, how are we killing this Man in Black? I don't know. Shoot him?
Shoot him in the head.
All right, good. Cut. Should we have talked through that whole take?
We do send off with a couple of other Easter eggs at the end.
Uh-huh.
There is Red Rose, which is a Stephen King made miniseries that wasn't a book.
Okay.
We see King's Jewelers, and also it's Spaghetti Week at
Yeah,
the Majestic.
I saw that. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I know like a spaghetti western, but when I saw Spaghetti Week, I was like, Also, they have a weird moment. I don't know why I noticed this, but when they're walking through this down the street, like just before they go into the portal, there's like a dude in a white shirt that passes them, and he's featured very prominently as an extra. And I was trying to figure out, I was like, oh, is that a cameo from someone? And I guess it's no one, but it's like weirdly framed. Like it just looked like it's someone. It should be like it's almost like it's like where Stephen King's cameo would go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if that's what happened. They were like, well, just get a different guy.
Just kidding.
Should I do the same thing? Yeah, why not? No. Nathan, that makes it 2 movies now where it's not Stephen King.
Oh, you mean
Monkey Bone?
Yes,
Yeah.
Monkey Bone. Yeah.
Yeah, Stephen King played by some dude.
Some dude.
And I don't think ever named Stephen King too, but it clearly is Stephen King.
Yeah, they call him like Scared Guy or something.
Stephen Kang.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if either of you guys fast forwarded to the end of the credits, but there is a whistling cue.
Oh.
Like a sound cue. Yeah, which I think is supposed to be like Walter.
Yeah.
Or possibly Flag. Or maybe the Crimson King, because they never make it quite
They're
sure.
all the same person.
It's all the same person in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey in the interview was like, when I played Jack Torrance, I was trying to chill. But that is The Dark Tower. Mm-hmm. Amanda, since you're our guest, I'll ask you first. Would you recommend people watch this?
No, I actually think this falls in a zone where it just doesn't really offer anything. It's not so bad that it's funny. Yeah. It's like there's other movies that do this kind of stuff better. I could see a kid being really into it though. So if you're young, maybe I could see like an 8, 9, 10-year-old boy being like super into this, or girl, whatever, just being really into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the highest honor I can give it.
Go then, because there are other films than this.
True. True.
Which is a reference to the books. Anybody?
Yeah.
I got nothing. Nathan, what are you saying?
The 8-year-old in me says yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I still, despite all the moving parts that I saw this time around, I still did derive enjoyment out of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not like horrendous. Like I think I can understand why like diehard fans say it's horrendous, because like for that, yes, it would be. But like just as like a casual watch, I've seen worse and I've been angered by more.
Hellboy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
The new
Silent
At least I laughed
Hill.
in Hellboy. Like I don't know.
That's true.
Like,
a vampire in a wrestling match.
yeah.
Coming soon. Silent Hill, says Nathan. Yeah, that I don't remember that very much, but
Fuck. Oh, that fucking movie. And its fucking sequel.
I'm gonna say that it's not that hard of a watch, honestly.
It's not.
It's also 94 minutes.
That's actually a problem for it, though, is that it's so short.
It is a problem because everything's very condensed, but it's also, if you're not enjoying it that much, it's a benefit.
Yeah, exactly. It's an easy watch.
So if you don't like it, it's fast-paced enough, and there's, like, decent action. Idris Elba is very good.
He is, yeah.
The rest of the actors are kind of whatever. Like, Matthew McConaughey is basically Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
with a really bad wig.
If you want to get something out of it, see the movie and then start reading the book, so you can be like, oh.
Yeah. I actually, that's usually my recommendation for most things. If you find out a movie is being made on a book and you haven't read the book yet, wait to watch the movie, and then if you really liked it, read the book, because you'll get more out of it and you won't be as judgmental of the movie.
Yeah, honestly.
It's usually my recommendation now.
Well, on that note, we are going to take a brief commercial break. We'll be right back.
What Were They Thinking is brought to you by HostGator. HostGator is a leading provider of shared, reseller, VPS, and dedicated hosting solutions. Award-winning support is available 24/7, 365 days a year via phone, email, and live chat. Discover why over 9 million websites trust HostGator. Use the coupon code SCHLOCK for 25% off your first purchase. That's SCHLOCK, SCHLOCK, for 25% off your first purchase.
What Were They Thinking is brought to you today by GameItAll.com. Whether it's video game news, the latest in music, or movie reviews, GameItAll.com is your one-stop shop for all nerdy talk. Hey, Podcoin is an app.
It is.
Is it based on a book?
No, so you'll probably get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
Okay, perfect. So it's not based on... It doesn't try to truncate 7 apps into one app.
Nope, just its own app onto itself.
So what is Podcoin, Nathan?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that, Brendan, my friend. Is an app that's going to let you listen to podcasts and get paid to do it.
Money, 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 money?
That's right. Here comes the money.
Money talks.
Dollar, dollar, ching, ching, get the cheddar. It is an app. When you listen to it, your podcasts, that is, through this app, you will get paid, and pod coins. And you can use these pod coins, you save them up, and you can get Amazon gift cards or other retailer gift cards as well. Or if you're feeling philanthropic, you can go ahead and donate to charities for what you listen to with your pod coins. And if you head on over there, sign up, and use our code, WWTTPD, that is the What Were They Thinking Police Department, you will get 300 bonus pod coins just for signing up with that code. And if you've already signed up, throw that code in there. See what happens.
And can I add one other thing?
And
if you are listening to our podcast, you will earn 1.5 times the normal amount of pod coins per minute that you listen.
there you go.
Well, where can I sign up?
Amanda!
She heard us talking.
I know. I don't know why I pretended she wasn't here. She's invaded! You can actually find the Podcoin app on your Google Play Store on your Android phone or on your iOS device.
Well, that sounds perfect. I'll do that right now.
Okay, well, we should continue the podcast if you don't mind doing that a little later.
Okay, fine. All
Thanks.
right.
That's a little unprofessional of
Okay,
you. But...
you're right. You're right.
Podcoin!
What were they thinking?
And we're back.
Yes.
Nathan.
Yes, Brendan?
And, Amanda?
Yeah.
It's the time on the podcast, and we wax poetic.
And wax our legs.
Damn it, I forgot. It's a veritable forest down there.
Right.
This is the time when we do our low haiku.
Yes.
17 syllables to express our feelings on the film we talked about this week, which is, of course, The Dark Tower. Amanda, as our guest, would you like to begin with your low haiku?
All right. I can try. I would like everyone to know that I was warned like an hour before the podcast started that we do haikus.
Don't know. I'll make sure to have them fired.
Yeah, exactly.
True art is living, so.
It's true. I wrote this in a grocery store.
Perfect.
Fans flabbergasted. Stephen King somehow liked it. He is wrong. It sucks. Just short and sweet. Short and sweet.
Well, I believe they all are going to be the same length.
Sure?
That's how haikus work.
Yeah.
Seems to be the rule, the general rule between haiku and haiku. Okay. Well, Nathan, since this was your pick, you can go ahead.
Okay. Dark Tower, it's here. Waited all my life for this. What? It's over now?
94 minutes. Okay. Worst Stephen King flick? My Shine says no, but not great. Worst wig guy ever. Thank you.
We're out.
Correct.
We've
We've passed through the portal that was supplied to us by the Tet Corporation. We are now back in our Keystone Earth.
right. An old 1408.
Yeah.
Right. Just wanted to throw that in there with no context. Nathan, we all talked about this movie and we said what we thought about it, but what do we always say?
Well, we say...
Don't take a word for it!
That's right. Don't take our word for it. Because, well, let's check out the old Rotten Tomatoes, Nathan. This
Yep.
movie, critics were not kind to this movie. It has a 16%.
Yeah.
And the audience, while more lenient, still at a 45%.
Yes.
So, yeah. Surprising, I actually thought it was going to be the flip side.
You thought the critics were going to like it more than the audience?
I honestly did, because you have an audience of a lot of people that are like, a lot of diehard fans of the novel really didn't like this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like those people would go on Rotten Tomatoes and like 1-star the shit out of this.
That is valid.
like toxic fanboy Captain Marvel this shit. You know what I mean? But I mean, let's talk about this. So here's the first critics review I got here from the Matthew Norman of the London Evening Standard.
I'm going to British this up.
Okay. Elba's sublime professionalism is treating the part as worthy of him, and the dialogue as if it deserves to be spoken out loud. Saves the movie from total annihilation, just as the gunslinger saves this world.
Quite.
2 out of 5.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.
Well, not to be out-Britished, Kevin Mahar from the Times UK writes, 8 volumes... more than 4,000 pages in a multitude of exotic settings and alternative realities, entered by 2 near-mythic antagonists, are here transformed into turgid cinematic slop.
5 stars.
5.
One star.
1 star out of 5. I just really like the very top one I'm looking at because it's just right about how I felt.
Okay.
Not even bad enough to be fun.
Oh.
Elena Lazic of Little White Lies.
Well, clearly she's lying.
That's her shtick. All her reviews are lying.
Yeah.
Lies. April Wolf of The Village Voice kind of has one that made me laugh. Outside of its actors, the film is unremarkable. Action sequences seem as though they were hurried. That is, when you can actually see them. Did the lighting team blow a fuse?
Well, Nicholas Barber of BBC.com.
Do it up.
Well, I'll British it up, but I think Amanda will also get behind this one, too. It comes across as a cash-in that someone scribbled on the back of an envelope after seeing Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I saw that one. Oh, God. Oh, no.
You got another one there, Amanda?
Matthew McConaughey gives a Razzie-worthy performance. F.
Wait. I don't know if he's that bad.
He's not, but I'll go with it.
He's definitely like, he feels like he's kind of phoning it in though.
I feel like if you know something's been in production that long, you're just kind of like, whatever.
Have a great apocalypse. That's all I'm going to say about that.
This is the most positive review I have, okay? It's from Jared Mubarak of Buffalo Vibe. I'll say flat out that The Dark Tower is not the film that fans of King's magnum opus deserve. It's merely the one that Hollywood can supply. That is a positive review.
So, it's it's not the Dark Tower movie we want. It's the one we deserve.
Yeah, it's the one you're gonna get and like it.
Deal with it.
Deal with it, nerds. That's what it says at the end.
Yeah.
It's not an audience review.
No, it's a critic.
Oh my God, no, this is this is a Spanish review. I'm not going to do an accent for, I want to bring that upon myself. But this is a fantastic and entertaining film.
Wow.
But doesn't live up to what Stephen King created.
Wait, what?
They're like, it's amazing, but not what Stephen King made.
It was a roller coaster.
That is a roller coaster right there.
Should we dive into the doldrums here, Nathan?
Yes, let's.
Okay, let's get into the audience, because the audience always brings out the best in everyone. The audience reviews. This one is half a star, and it just says, "The Dark Tower is a trash waste of your life's time period."
Oh, God.
Don't know what that means, but all right.
I feel punctuation would have been key for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. This person didn't even give their name, just 1 star. I love the Gunslinger books. I have read and reread them. Amazing books. I just saw The Dark Tower, and it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Worse than The Hobbit. Awful, terrible, horrible.
Drag The Hobbit through the muck. This one is a half a star, and I wanted to read this one, raise some eyebrows here. Okay, I'm a big fan of the Tower series, but come on, Roland of Galliard was a white guy who looked like Clint Eastwood. I'm tired of books' races being changed for PC garbage. Half a star. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to brighten it up here then.
Okay.
Kirk B. gave this... he must be a maritimer, because he gave the thing 3.5 stars, and his concise, brief review is better than expected.
That's so maritime. We're just putting up with
it. These are my favorite ones. This review breaks it down in a number of categories here, guys. So this is it says title, Dark Tower, story, writing, message, plot, that's all one thing. 2, character/acting. 3, music/sound. 2, cinematography/editing. 2, and my favorite category, age/originality. 2, total 11 out of 25. 2 stars.
2 stars. I love it.
What is age? Like how old the movie is?
I don't know.
This movie was made in 1955. Age 5. What the fuck?
I got a perfect 5. Brilliant movie. Just a shame it was not advertised as deserved. They advertised this thing left and right.
I couldn't not see ads for this when it was coming out.
Yeah, I would say the trailers pretty accurately depicted the movie, too. Like, pretty accurately depicted what was going to happen. They definitely didn't lie to us.
No, that's for sure. Ronnie T gave her 5 stars and writes, "Now I will read the books."
I saw that.
Okay, I've got one more here, and it's a little bit of a long one, but I kind of like it. Well, I mean, it's insane, but anyway. It's half a star. My memories... Okay, I'm going to read this exactly as written, okay? So bear with me. My memories of Journey, O Took, with Roland, Eddie, Susanna, Jake, and Oi are the best memories I have of reading. I watched this movie trying so hard to detach myself from the books, to take it as a far-off turning of the wheel, a far-off reading of The Journey that I have not read yet, where Roland takes a different direction when he comes across the river. But as hard as I tried, I just could not forgive this movie its blatant respect it's shown Roland. This script has nothing reminiscent of the 7.5 books. I have given up hope on this being made respectfully when it was in development hell, so I had no expectations but a scraping of the bottom. I love Idris Elba, but I can say without a doubt and with full respect to Stephen King that this adaptation deserves nothing from me or any other constant reader. I will do my very best to forget it, and we will be returning to All World to travel yet again with the tower ahead of me, and I shall look forward to the times I have at Roland's side. Long days and pleasant nights to you.
What a fucking nerd.
He lost it at the end.
He did.
I think he became a character in the book.
Yeah, he's feeling it.
He's feeling it. All right, that's all I got. Anybody else?
I think that's a good one to end on.
All right. Well, that's The Dark Tower, ladies and gentlemen. Well, in 2 weeks, we should note that our Listener's Choice month is going to start. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I guess just run down what we're doing. We don't really have to hint because, I mean, you know, we already did an episode announcing all the movies. So we've got, in 2 weeks, we'll be starting with 2008's Freestyle, Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, my God. I love it.
Masters of the Universe, and Hook. So that's what's coming up in June. But yeah, Amanda, I know you have stuff to plug, so go right ahead.
Oh yeah, okay. You can find me everywhere, pretty much, at Amanda the Jedi. That's YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. I'm everywhere. It's Amanda the Jedi. It's great.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Nathan, Montrose Monkington III, is he around?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Nathan we have a monkey co-host.
Perfect.
I'm really more not a co-host. I've only been on one full episode. It was a mini-sode. Talked about wrestling.
Well, I was just being nice.
How awful Shane Douglas is. Anyhow, yes. Hello, it's a good friend Montrose Monkington III here, and I'm just stopping by to say, you know what? I feel that this movie should have been better received, but, you know, unfortunately, they did all that stuff in it, which led it to not being well received.
Fortunately, they made it poorly.
Right. So, with that aside, would like to invite all of you to come join me on YouTube, Montrose Monkington TV. The more recent uploads have come from my reviews of Money in the Bank, the most recent WWE event. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at Montrose the Third. That's the number 3RD. And if you really, really want to be a friend of Montrose, you can find me on Facebook, Montrose Monkington the Third Esquire and Friends. It's just where I like to hang out and interact with folk, even though I have no opposable thumbs. Thank you. More later.
Thank you, Montrose. And of course, if you want to follow us on all the social medias, we're on Instagram and Twitter at WWTT Podcast. You can search for us on Facebook. Just search What Were They Thinking? We are there. We have patreon.com/WWTT Podcast, where you can sign up for all kinds of cool stuff. You can pick the movies. You can be on the show. You can make Nathan eat 10 ham sandwiches on air. I think that's one of our tiers. What? No, nothing?
Hickory, what? Smoked what?
We're on Redbubble and TeePublic. You can also find us there. We got a nice Human Centipede inspired T-shirt, for example. Yeah, there's poop on it. I know you're wondering.
Oh, no. Oh, honey, no.
And we're on all the podcatchers, Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, all that good stuff. I also have another podcast if you want to listen to a podcast about great movies. It's called For Screen and Country, and it's about the top 100 movies on the British Film Institute list.
Including the Twilight series.
That is not on the list. You can check out For Screen and Country on iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher, and at... oh my god. At BFI_pod on Twitter. And it's on Facebook. I think that's it, though.
Hell yeah.
I think we covered it. Okay. So, I guess, at this point, Nathan... Oh, first of all, thank you, Amanda, once again, for joining us.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for having me. I
talk about this lovely beacon of hope.
Yes, I love movies to yell about them so much.
Having said all that, Nathan, I do have a couple questions.
Well, I am a bit of a Dark Tower superfan, so bring it on.
In a movie that features some stellar wig work.
Yes.
In a movie that tries to truncate a lot of material into 94 minutes.
Unfortunately.
In a movie where Idris Elba is probably getting the I'm trying to save this thing award.
100%.
And, man, there is so much. In a movie where, I mean, skin people, they're the skin people from my dreams is a kid's way of convincing his mom that he's not crazy.
Right.
Oh, Nathan, I gotta ask, adapting this novel and Stephen King being okay with it and him saying this is the best adaptation ever, I just gotta know.
What's that?
What were they thinking?
It's time, let's check our cue, baby. Pair it with a couple brews, baby. We love good movies. We love the bad ones too. So we watch them all and pass their lessons on to you. Oh yeah. Everything I learned from movies helps to make life a little bit groovy. With a one-liner plot holes and gratuitous movies. It's time to get busy with your friend Stephen Izzy. At eilfm.podbean.com.
Hi guys, we interrupt your favorite podcast to interrupt you with an ad for your new favorite podcast.
Wait, isn't this playing on somebody else's show?
Exactly.
So then how are we I thought we were their new favorite podcast.
Well, we're going to become their new favorite podcast after they hear this advertisement for our show. What's our show called, Justine?
Superiority Complex.
Yeah? Where can they find us, Patrick?
Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. You can go to @SoupComplex on Twitter, SOUP Complex, and you can go to Facebook.com/SoupComplex. But our main page is on Podbean, and you can find us there at www.superioritycomplex.podbean.com. New episodes are out every Thursday. Justine,
yes.
What do we talk about on the Superiority Complex?
Nerdy stuff.
Perfect.
Don't get all sensual with your voice.
Yeah, did you hear that?
I heard it. It's a little inappropriate.
If you want to hear a little more of that, tune in to the Superiority Complex. One more time, Justine, what do we talk about?
Nerdy stuff.
Nah, wasn't
No.
the same. You tried.